Hi everyone, I'm back again live. I'm just getting my computer going and waiting for you guys to hop on. And yeah, we will get started on doing some of this. Okay, so this is a template I used. Okay, so that's it there. What I have got underneath is just wadding, and you can see where I've painted. It's gone through, but it protects the table, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a piece of wadding. Now I've had my colours there, but I've just popped the lids back on them just so they didn't go claggy. Hi Naomi. The first part of this video was available on, or is available on, the Craft Alive site. And hi Gloria. But I thought I would do a little bit more here just to show you a little bit more. So these templates, you can buy these at $38 each. They are available. I do have them here, and I've got different varieties of them, so I'll show you them after we do a little bit of painting, so you can have a look and decide if you want one, and which one you would want if you do. So it's the naughty thing to do, is to work in the lid. I tend to do that a lot, but I sort of know how to control the paint. You'd be best off grabbing some paint and putting it on a plate or something that you can wash later. You can keep this paint, like if you haven't used it all, rather than wasting it. Hey gorgeous, how are you? If you wanted to use some of this later, you can put a plastic bag over it and put it in the fridge for a few days or so, but that's sort of how I put it. And then I know what I've got in front of me. So I did this section, and I'm going to literally turn it around so I can work on this section. I just stuck it out in the sun for like 5 minutes, and it's dried. That's just my water, dirty water. And that's the brush I'm using. So it's a flat brush, but it's got an edge to it. Hi Jimmy. And I also have with me a cloth rag so that I can just wipe my brush on, because I don't want wet. I want the brush damp, so it's damp now, but I've wiped all the excess off the side of the brush so it doesn't dribble down when I'm painting, because if it dribbles down and blobs water on there, it's going to bleed everywhere. So the idea is to work with the paint with a damp brush, not wet. So I'm going to work in these ribbon sort of areas, and what I tend to do is I'll work the paint along the edge of the drawn line, and I literally used my Bowen pencil with the grey lead. I just swapped out the white for the grey lead and drew it through, and then joined up the lines so I could see, because the template has gaps between the lines. So I just joined up the lines so I could see the whole line and not make guesses. If you go outside your line, don't stress. You can always paint that other area. It's no biggie, unless of course you're not going to paint that area. And once it is a fabric paint, so once it's on the fabric, it's very hard to get off. Okay, so you sort of want to try and make sure that you really only touch the areas that you want to touch. But if you do accidentally get it on there, my suggestion would be to paint. So if I got some in here, just paint that area. That would be my suggestion, because you're not going to get it off. It is fabric paint. So now I've put the aqua on there, and I'm going to use the darker blue now. The blue one is called, good question, glad I asked. It's just pearlescent blue, and I've got pearlescent turquoise there. I keep getting it in my fingers, so I've got it everywhere. That is another thing I do when I paint. I get it absolutely everywhere, all over my fingers. So I'm just continuing on from what I did before. So half basically. And I'm only eyeballing. If you want to draw a halfway line, you can, but I am only eyeballing. If I get too much paint on, just wipe some off either on the rag or your palette there, because you don't want too much on. Wash it out, whichever one suits. Vivian Crudelli wanted to see this, so if anyone can tag Vivian, that would be super awesome. And then all I'm going to do is, while it's still damp, I'm just going to circular motions, massage it from this side to break up that definite line, rub off that paint, wash it out. Could you use on cathedral window? Absolutely, absolutely. You can use this paint on anything. So you can, if you wanted to, you can draw out your centre bit, whatever design you want to have in, paint it, and then quilt it if you wanted to. Absolutely. So if you have circular lines, which I have a few there, just come back over and slightly, just very, very, very featherweight touch, and just touch that to flatten it out so it doesn't look like little circular motions. And you're definitely washing your brush in between each go, but I'm drying it off as I go, so I don't get any dribbles down here. We don't want it dribbling onto the actual piece. Now this green bit here, oh, Candy, what's in? Candy, come on in, sweetie. This green bar part here, I started with, let my feminine side go, yeah. Why not? You're with the girls, you're allowed to. So I'm just using the lime. It's a pearlescent lime, and I'm using it along the top edge, and I'm going to use along that edge as well. I'm going to come back in the middle with some pearlescent white, and the other thing too, if you don't want to use pearlescent, you don't have to. It gives it a different look with pearlescent. It's really a personal choice, to be honest. So you might not like that shiny, glittery sort of look, and that's totally fine. You can use just solid paints. There are solid paints available in it. I do only have like a couple. They're called textiles, the paints, but I can easily order them in. Any colours that I don't have in stock, again, I can order in, but I've got pretty much most of them there. You can also add a product called Super Sparkle to the solid paints and make them a little bit sparklier. So now I'm just going around that center bit there, and this brush allows me to get a fine line without it spreading its bristles everywhere. So while it's still damp, can you use these paints on a panel? Absolutely, Kim. Yeah, absolutely. You can use them on any fabric, except for silk. Probably silk I wouldn't, because they'll just sit on the top. They won't go into the fibres of the silk. This, you'll see when I lift it up, it'll go into the fibres. So I'm just putting that white in the middle, and I'm going to come back and give her a bit of a massage in a minute. Just get some of that down so it's a bit blobby. Pop that there. They look good, don't they, Christine? And to be honest with you, it's really, it's always going to be, you know, what you think it's good. Like it's always up to you. Art, because it is an art. But you really don't have to know, excuse me with that cough, I'm going to have to ask him about that. You don't have to be an artist, if that makes sense. Helen Godden uses these paints, teaches all over the world with these paints, and the people she teaches are not artists, and they come up with some amazing, beautiful work, and you can do the same too. You know, just because I can draw doesn't mean you can't do this. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the second one. No, you don't, Christine, and that's the beauty of them. They're a fabric paint. Now I'm going into that dark green and I'm taking off the excess. So I dipped it in a little and I'm taking off the excess, and I want to repeat what I've got here. So I'm going there, down, and here, down, and I've got the brush in an upright position. If you can see that, I'm going in an upright position, and then just feather that down from the outside in. I've had that hem thing since I had COVID in January. All right, so I've just done that little area on the outside, on the top, and I'm just going to come back in, touch that little bit of paint that I had on the side of the palette, and just do that inside one here, and feather that out again. Some of you might even already have these stencils. I have 4 Lumiere paints. I only have 4. Oh, do you? Look, you can use them with other things, Jimmy. I mean, it doesn't have to be all Lumiere. You can use solid paints with it. We're going to do this one again. I'm going to start this time with the darker one at the base, because I started with the gold last time. So I'm going to start with the darker one. And then I'm going to do that there because I want that crease. Just touch that one up a little, just a little. And then I'm going to brush that out. Asthma Pump helped me get rid of the COVID cough. I have the solids I got 8 months ago off you. Yes, that's right. Well, you can use the solids with these. I'm going to use mainly gold. So I'm just getting a big glob of it. Put it in the center and work up to my edges. If I get too much, I can always sort of scoop it up like I have and wipe it back into that thing. This sort of thing is something you do gradually. Like, I don't normally sit in one big thing and paint this. I'm just going back into that rusty color and coming up in there with, well, I've got the gold on my brush. You don't have to do this all in one go. What I do find is, though, I tend to forget my technique that I've used from one day to the next, and then I'm like, right, that means I have to think colors. Well, you don't have to. You can still get those sets. There's little sets, and they're 45 still, and they come with I think about 12 colors. Yeah, I like that better than the other one that I did. But yeah, so you can get the little starter sets, like they call them exciter sets. They get you excited about the colorways and stuff like that. I'm not stressing about that edge of this one not being as fine as the others because my stitching will fill that in. But that just gives you an idea, changing the way I applied the paint, how it looks a little bit brighter than the other one. So now we're going to go turn it around, and I've got a little bit of green paint there. So obviously I've touched somewhere, but I'm not worrying about it. I'm going to be painting that, so it does not matter. So I'm going to do some of these. So I'm going to get my aqua, get that in, nice blob of it, and work up to the top, get that line reasonably solid. If you find when you're using it in your paint lids, you find they go a little bit claggy, that's when you need to put it back on the bottle and give it another shake. If it goes claggy on your palette, just add the tiniest little dribble, tiniest, I mean really tiny, of water. And I'm talking the tiniest, something an ant drink, an ant's drink. There you go. That's how much water you would need to loosen it up again. So let's just get that in there. Give her a shake, wash. Playing with them earlier, I prefer the pearlescent feel. Do you? Good. Well, it's probably a little bit thicker. The solids are good, but they are a little bit waterier than the pearlescent. Pearlescents have to be thick to be able to get that shine. Otherwise, they just become transparent, if that makes sense. And then they won't be shiny. So I've just gone in there. I've done the line, half and half. Excess paint off. I've got a damp brush again, and I'm going to just manipulate. And like I say, if you get solid lines in there from your swirly motions, just come back with a light feather touch on it just to soften it up a little. Okay. Go to the next one. And like I say, I normally work from top to bottom, but because I was sort of wanting to show a bit of shading in the demo, I sort of started on the round ones so that you could see different ways of shading, or the curved pieces, more to so to speak. And of course, you can do, you know, like 6, 9 of these, join them all together. You can do it on black, you can do it on navy, you can do it on anything you like, really, whatever color you choose. But you can do these and join them all together, and you get yourself a very, very unique, a one-off quilt. And these are 16-inch blocks. It doesn't take much for them to all of a sudden become a quilt. Do you know what I'm saying? My brush has gone a bit frayed. If the brush goes frayed, it just needs a little bit more water. But again, not too much. So if you notice, my brush is in an upright position the majority of the time when I'm brushing on those edges, and that's so I get a sharp edge as I go along. Do you need to heat set the paint? Yes, you should heat set it. So at the end of it, just use a Teflon mat or a rag or something, and give it an iron press, more than an iron. You want to just press it, and she's ready to go. So what I'm getting, if you can see that ribbon on the outside, I know, Jimmy, you can't quite see, but what I'm getting on that ribbon is I'm getting a really nice flow. I'm just coming back on this one because I need to touch up that edge, because I'm using the dark on the inside on each one of them, and I'm using the light on the top, so that creates like a nice flow. I'm just touching up this one. It's just got a little bit of a rough edge. Do you need to heat set the pan? Yep, answered that one. Good. All right. So next one. And we're just going to go around here. I would normally turn this so I'm on the right angle, but I won't because I know that you guys need to see. But like I say, you don't need to be a fully fledged artist or anything like that. You can just be anyone and do this. This is not rocket science. It's not, you know, you don't need a law degree to do it. You just need a little bit of time and patience, and have a play. Always play first. Play on some other fabric first before you start on your quilt fabric. Just to see how it looks so that you know the way it works and you can feel how it flows. So that way you'll know how much paint you do need and how much you don't need. No notification, Maya. I did sneak this one in. This is a sneak one. So I'm just getting that little bit of aqua on the brush and then pushing that darker blue back down. So I'm working from the top down now just to push that dark blue down a bit because it was a little bit high on that end. But now we've got this really nice ribbon effect all the way around. Again, I'm going to do this green one. Working on a little bit of blue in there again and a little bit of water. I can see it starting to move, so I need to work quick and get that down before it bleeds. So that little bit of water has run down the brush onto the from the stem of the brush down onto the bristles, and that's what created, you can sort of see it there, that little bit of a bleed that it started. I haven't had to change a whole heap of brushes or anything because I'm using a brush that's sort of really quite... I have a few artists in town that would sit and watch me do it if age gave, and gave me tips as well as curry. Nothing wrong with a bit of curry. Grab the white and work in that middle bit. Hopefully the green's a little bit lighter, like wet still I should say, so I might not have to add more. So what I'm trying to get rid of is any definite lines between the two colours is basically what I'm aiming at. A little bit of the green, the dark green. Work on the top, come down one side. Just going to wipe off the excess. Then come down the other side. And as I get to the end of where I want to do it, you'll notice I lift, I sort of flick it off, just so I don't sort of end up running the brush in a place I don't want it to go. So I lift, I sort of flick it off. They do want to see you paint. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's good. It's very good for the soul painting. I can't wait till I can do a little bit more. I have entered the turtle into a competition, so I'll keep you updated on that. Be nice if she gets accepted. Wait and see. I'm going to do this one, so I'm going to grab that darker rusty colour, work in there. The only thing is with this paint, you do need to work reasonably quick because it does dry quick. So if you're wanting to blend, like now, so I want to blend, I need to sort of work reasonably quick to get my next colour up so that I can start blending. If I let it dry, that's when I get the definite lines. Do you know what I mean? So you sort of need to work reasonably quick so that you can get them to blend. If it's no big deal if you don't get it to blend and you do have that line, you can go back in and touch that area up a bit. Keep the lines soft, that's right. Yep. You want you don't want that definite, you know, you want to see a change in color, but you don't want a definite line. There's no real such thing as that in the art world, unless you're doing modern, and I mean really modern. And the slightest little bit of that, just take the excess off just so I can get up there and there. And that does those. They almost look like a little love heart, don't they? I'm going to do this one while I'm here. Come back in. Same thing again. Put a bit more on this one. So you can use this on clothing. You can use it on your quilts. You can use on your bags and all that sort of jazz. So there's no limits. It's only limited to you and your imagination. The colours look good, and to be honest with you, I had no real plan. I just did my typical Michelle thing and just went, oh, you know, these colours look good, I'll do this. and work from there. So yeah, no real big plan. Sort of go one step at a time and go from there. So we've got one more little green heart, that flower, and you can see I turn my whole work so that I can get to it rather than working over the top of what I've already done. We have, after this, I'll do a quick, this is what I've got in these stencils, if you don't have them already. They aren't cheap, but they are a one-off purchase. You do have to store them flat because they are a big plastic mat. You cannot iron them or anything, and you do need to look after them. But, you know, they're a one-off. You don't have to buy them again and again. You can use that same one over and over again and create, you could get, you know, I think there's about, what have I got there? Probably about 7 different designs that you can use that will, yeah, work really well with what I'm doing here. Love to see some done. How much are the paints? The paints are $9.95 each, unless I order new, and I'd have to check the pricing, but I've got the old pricing because it's the stock from last purchase. So unless they've put them up, that's what they are. And they're a little tub like that. And it's got about, oh, where is it? It's on there somewhere. Find one that's got it written on it. How many mils are in it? 66 mil, 66.5 mil. You can buy the little sampler packs, and they're $45, and they can give you a range of colours. Might not be the colours you want though. That's the only thing. So it's sort of 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, missed the price, Linda. They're $9.95 each for the little tubs, unless like I have to order new stock and it comes in and they've put the price up, which I don't know. But as a general rule, that's what they were. I have seen them at $12, $13, but I don't do 100% on them because I'd rather you have them and be using them than me make an extra $3. But obviously I can't have them costing me money, so if they do go up, I'll let you know. But as a general rule, that's what they are. They have been for a few years now, that price, so wouldn't surprise me if they stay the same. The Exciter packs, which are the starter packs, and I'll go through them in a minute, are $45. Alrighty. What have you used to mark the design on the fabric? Okay, I used a bow and pencil with a grey lead. So that's the one there, bow and pencil. And I used the grey pencil refill. I think I have about 6 or 7 of those left and 2 bow and pencils left after yesterday. And I used that to mark the template on, the piece on. So I'm going to stop there. And then I can continue on with this later, but that gives you an idea of what was happening today and what I've done. So I'm just going to put these lids back on. I'll move the camera so you can see me. Yeah, love that. That's just gorgeous. So I'm just going to pop these on, and I'll be able to give you a bit of an idea too what colours I've got in stock. You can order them on the website, and if whatever I don't have, I'll send you a message and let you know. But you don't have to go there, you can just order direct from me. So that gives you an idea of how to get those colours or those shadings and that effect. Looks good, doesn't it? So that I'll stop with. I'm going to move the camera and get my stuff. Bear with me. I'll get my camera working because I've got to move a lot of stuff. Hi. You see the paint's behind me. Let's move this over here. There we go. Oh, we don't want that thing in front of us, so let's move that. And let's get that stand up so you don't fall over. And nice. So we're back. Now, there we go. Let's not... Stay. Don't fall. Don't fall. What? Knew that was going to happen. Oh dear. Hey, how professional am I? Oh dear. All right, we got it. That's the stencil. Hard to see. This one here is it's number 400. They're 38 each. That's it there. That's the one that I was using. So that's number 400. Now I'm just going to move some stuff and grab my book. Oh my gosh. There we go. And a pen, because it's all on the other side of the room. You got a headache now? Sorry. Bit dizzy, everyone. I'll just get my book and I'll grab those stencils because there's a few. And I'll just pop that in the sink. Now, just need to pop them there. Just moving some stuff. I've got, you should see my table. It's just like an absolute shite fight. Shite fight, that's what it is. All right. Okay. Now, we're back. There we are. There you all are. So if you would like number 40, let me know and I'll write that down. So they're all 38. They're 16 by 16 or 16 and a half inch square. That's it there. That's that one, number 400, if you haven't already got it, obviously. So that's stencil number 400. So number 400 stencils, 38. And next one, this is massive, this one, because it's actually one part of, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one part of 6 of them, and it works out to 42-inch round tablecloth or Christmas tree skirt or something like that. So I'll show you the picture, which is there. Can you see that? That's it there, and that's one. Oh, you can't really see it. There you go. 1/6 of it, and you just draw up your fabric, and that there is number 131, holiday 131, HOL 131, and again it's only 38. That's that one. I've got so much stuff here, it's not funny. The next one, oh, that's number 400. That's the one I use. Pop them back together. Then I've got 3 of these ones, and this is number 402. So you can see that. I might stay behind it. Number 402. This is 402. And This is number 597. So 597, and it's like, it's all feathers. 597. And then this one here is 513. So 513, and they're all carnations around there. 513. And this one here is number 599. I've done this one before. 599, if you can see that. Sure, Bev. Hi, Jenny. So that's 599. So 507. I think that was 597. Bev, shut. And that was 599. On there. That was 597, Bev. And then we have this one. And they'll be posted out on cardboard flat, just so you know. 512. That's pretty cool. There's a few of those. 512. All 16.5 inch. 512. Then this one here is again 1/6 of a template, and it is number 132. So 132, and that's the template there, and that is the design. These are all 38 each. So that's that one. Pretty big. And lucky last on these is number 405, and that's the hang on, that one's around the wrong way. That's going to confuse the whole eyeball thing. There we go. Sure, Cherie. Oh, stay still. There it is there. You see it's all lattice and vines. And that one there was number 405. 405. No worries, Jenny. Sure, Cherie. 405. Now, the paints, $9.95 each. Let me show you what they are. What I've got in stock, I have pearlescent white, and I'm just thinking how I'm going to reach it. Oh gosh. So I have pearlescent white, so you can see that. No worries, Denise. Pearlescent white. Then I have one lime. I can order more. These are all $9.95. That's lime. Got the aqua, which is the one I use. The lime and the aqua I use today. Then I've got Halo Pink Gold, which is like a pinky goldy colour. I've got Metallic Russet. Pearlescent Blue, which is the one I used today. Pearlescent Blue. Pearlescent Violet. Grape, which is really dark. Burgundy, but it sort of looks almost like a, I think it comes out here. I can't open it because it's got a seal, but yeah, that's burgundy. Then I have silver. Indigo, which is even darker than the other blue I had. Olive green, which is I used today for that darker green. metallic copper, sorry you got my bum in your face, metallic rust, just gorgeous, old brass, just plain old brass, bright gold, metallic gold, I have one halo violet gold, just got sort of a gold bling to it. Magenta, pearlescent magenta, which I used. Halo blue gold, which is just yum. Halo blue gold. Then I have true gold. Don't have any gold. Sunset gold. Plenty of golds. Bronze. Burnt orange. And pewter. Now I also have the Lumiere and Neopaque. So you get a black and white in the solid colour, or they're sort of just a plain black and white, and then you've got pearl blue, violet, pearl white, metallic bronze, copper, metallic olive green, and metallic gold in that one, and that's 45. So that's a Lumiere and Neopaque Exciter pack. Also have halo and jewel colours, which give you the halo pink gold, halo blue gold, halo violet gold, blue, turquoise, what's that say, emerald, and then magenta, metallic rust, pewter, and sunset gold, and that's 45 as well, and that's just the halo and jewel, so jewel. And that's that one. And I think that is, oh hang on, that is the same. Oh, and I've got one in the plain solids, which is textiles. It's got yellow, red, purple, blue, I think that is turquoise, yep, green, apple green, brown, black and white, and they're your solid colours, and they are also 45, but I only got one of those. And yeah, that's it in those. I got these because came off that one. That's plain black, plain white, and plain yellow, because I found there was no plain yellow. So those in the textiles in the little pots, and then you can also get your Super Sparkle. So your Super Sparkle, I'll show you what it looks like. That's it. And you paint it on just other colours, and it gives, like you can see, there's sparkle in it. And that will bring any colour, any paint to a sparkle. There you go. That's that. That is that. Oh, you dropped out, Jimmy. You'll have to come back and watch the replay. Yeah. So that's all of those colours that I have. So any of those you want, just let me know. And if you want the Exciter packs or whatever, or any of those templates, let me know. I will put together a pack for you. And you can do your own, just like that. Okay. just like that. Cherie's thinking about how she's going to quilt that, aren't you, Cherie? You quilt it first and then colour it. Can I see it? There's a couple. So there's the Halo Jewel colours, which has got all the Halo Gold, Halo Blue, Halo Violet, Turquoise, Emerald, Magenta, Russet, Pewter and Sunset Gold. That is the Halo one. Then there's the plain textile colours, which are the solids, and I think you've probably got that one. And then there's the Lumiere Neopaque, so the black and white. And then you've got the metallic gold, olive, copper, bronze, pearlescent white, pearlescent violet, blue. And that one, you know, that one is the Lumiere Neopaque. So you've got the Halo and Jewel or the Neopaque, and they're all 45. So it's a good way to get a sample of colours without having to buy every single colour you want, because there's a lot of them. So there you go. Even I don't have them all. The Lumiere one, the second one, sure. I can do that. I'll pop your name on that one straight away, Jimmy. Yeah, so I'm going to head off for a bit, and plus I don't use a lot. Exactly, Jimmy. Yeah, there's no point buying a pot of everything if it's just going to go to waste. I mean, it lasts for a long, long time. I've had some of those for years. But in saying that, you don't want to take the chance of wasting it either. So it's good money, and who wants to waste it? So it's now 4:39, 4:40. So I'm going to head off. See you at 6 o'clock for a live. Man, have I got some stuff to show you. I had a bit of a ferret around. Just saying. You don't use a lot. No, you don't. All right, so we will see you at 6 o'clock. We'll have a nice little live, go for about an hour and a half or so. If you don't get to see it at the time, you can always come back in and order after the fact if they're still available, which they normally are. Most of the time there's something there. So thank you for joining me. I'm glad I could actually do that little bit of a demo there for you so that you don't miss out on some of that, and I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.